Welcome to episode 12 of the Make It Matter podcast. Today, we're talking about abundance versus scarcity, helping business leaders be more aware of the resources around them. Well, hello everyone. This is the Make It Matter podcast. For entrepreneurs and business owners, we believe what you do is so much more than a daily grind. We want to give you strategies that will allow your work to have more impact and resources to help you share your story with the world. So you ready? Let's go. Well, hello, everyone. We are here in 2021. Welcome to Make It Matter podcast. We are here in the studio. I am Hanju, and I'm here with Dave Brubaker.
What's up, man? Good to be back, dude. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So what's up, man? How's everything? How are you doing?
Yeah, dude. It's good to be back. Good to see you. This is like first time I've been outside my house wearing pants in a while, so refreshing, dude.
I'm glad you're wearing pants today, bro. Hey, I'm really excited about our topic today. Abundance, scarcity. I've been really dealing and struggling with that for a long time. And one of the reasons why I was struggling for a certain period of time is because I didn't even know what the differences and what that really meant. Like when people say, "Oh, that's a scarcity mentality," I'm like, what is that? So hey, just tee it up for us, bro.
Well, first of all, I hope this is a year of abundance for everyone listening, for your business, for your family, and I hope as we get into this, it kind of opens your eyes to the resources that are available all around you. And I agree, man. I actually kind of feel like I've had my own struggle with a little bit of like scarcity thinking. I know part of it is I don't like to waste things, like my joke with food. I always say never leave a man behind. I like to kind of conserve my resources. But if I'm not careful, that can be a very limiting type of way to think. And suddenly I'm not dreaming big because I'm using this concept of being content and being, like careful with my resources as like an excuse for not taking big swings and not even realizing there's a massive feast in front of us, and I haven't even jumped in. The story I've heard is it's kind of like that the guy who's on a cruise, and he's but he doesn't realize that it's an all expense paid cruise, and so he keeps peanut butter and jelly in his room, and every time at the meal he goes in and makes himself a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's like, dude, the all-you-can-eat buffet is part of the trip, man. Enjoy. Have whatever. Have the lobster, man. Have dessert. Have whatever you want. But it's like, well, I don't want to waste the PBJ that I brought, obviously. And it's like, okay, dude, think a little bit bigger than that and open up your eyes and see what's available to you.
Is this true story?
Yeah, that's kind of a classic example. Poor guy, like, just missed out on the entire experience of the cruise, man, making his sandwiches, dude.
That's funny. First time I went on the cruise, I was looking through the menu, and there was like a couple desserts. I was like, oh, should I have this dessert or that dessert? And the waiter looked at me and said, why don't you just get both?
Yeah, dude.
What?
That I had the same experience, man. Every time I was trying to pick my order, the waitress finally decided, you know what, don't choose. And you can have multiple entrees, multiple desserts. And I remember that was the first time in my life I literally saw myself gaining weight. I could see in the mirror, my face getting wider. It was kind of crazy.
You always take my story and take it another level. I was just talking about dessert. Now you're talking about a double entree. I didn't even think about that.
You can do as many entrees as you want. It's crazy.
Okay.
But should you? At what cost is the question, right?
Hey, in the business world, I always think about scarcity, and this was how it was explained to me that really made sense. And someone said, hey, it's the scarcity thinking is that there are X number of potential clients in the world. and there are X number of businesses in the world for those clients. And if one of the clients don't choose you, they'll choose someone else. And now you have one less potential client to work with. It's called the zero-sum game.
That's right.
And one person's gain is one person's loss. So, my dad and my mom really had this mentality growing up, and in their business and everything they did, and way they taught us is like, hey, don't tell people like how you do things. Don't tell people your secrets and how well you do certain things, because if you tell them your secrets, they'll figure it out and they'll do it better, and then they'll win over the clients that could have been yours, because now someone else can do what you can do.
Dude.
So that's, you try to hide everything, right? So that's scarcity, and tell me why that's not right, bro.
Well, man, it leads into this first point that I want to get into, and it actually, especially because it's the difference between looking around the world and seeing competition, like, and one winner and everyone else has to, if I win, you lose. If you win, I lose. Versus seeing a world full of collaboration. Like, dude, there's all kinds of ways we can partner and work together. So when you talk about abundance, I would hope we look around and see an abundance of relationships, dude. And especially in this past year, like, I don't take this for granted. Like I said, I've been home a lot. We barely get out, and I think more and more you just appreciate and cherish those connections that we have in life. That we have the privilege of working together and meeting up and helping each other out, and having, hopefully, the stuff that happens at Boss Media lifts up so many other businesses around us, like where they talk about a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
Let our relationships be a rising tide that lifts so many other people, not just you. It's a win for everyone. And especially when it comes to, when you talk about the riches of relationship, is one important question I always want to ask is, who are your advisors? Here, a very practical action step. Who can you ask for help? The knowledge, it's not just what you know and your own secret sauce that you have in your mind. Look around you and be willing to reach out and say, you know what? I see people around me who are better than I am at various skills. So someone who's has certain expertise that I need to learn. Dude, to have advisors and reach out and let the richness of your relationships lift you up and lift everyone else around you up.
Dude, when I first started this company, it was a good friend of mine, and he had a marketing ad. He still does, has a marketing agency, and he found out what I was doing, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, man, like if you want any advice, or you want to kind of know my story, where I am, and where I plan on going, like, let's have lunch." So he offered it. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I had lunch with him, and I went to his office, and I couldn't believe it. He showed me everything. He showed me the pictures of his forms that he was using. He showed me what app he was using for all the invoicing. He introduced me to his developer and what software he was using for all his websites that he was building. He was telling me like how much he charges. He was telling me how he was marketing to his potential clients. I'm like thinking to myself, wait, essentially, aren't I going to be your competitor? But he absolutely did not think that way. He's like, dude, you're my friend. I have, years of experience ahead of you, and I want to teach you everything because I want you to be successful.
Dang. Dude,
what is that, dude?
Come on. That's like Boss Media origin story, man. And I love that, because of course, in the world that we've been in this past year of a lot of isolation, I just imagine people working at home or trying to like solve some problems in their business, and they think, I'm on my own, dude. No one's going to pick me up. No one's there to help me. This is my problem. I got to solve it. And it's like, I would hate to think that that advisor is one phone call away. There's somebody who would want to help you. They'd want to share the way to solve that and take you forward, but they're just waiting for you to call. And I hope we're not too proud to ask, but there's abundance of relationships right in front of us.
You know what's crazy is that when I look at his business now, he like 10x'd it.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
he's
I'm not surprised.
thriving.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because dude, we always talk about that book, Give and Take. Dude, the giver's on top, man. It's a magic way of experiencing business, dude, when you're that generous. It works. It's lucrative. Dude, we want people like that to succeed. We want to work with people like that.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I should reach out to him again. It's like, dude, like let's have that same meeting
Yeah,
again.
dude.
Like,
Give me the new secrets, bro.
yeah.
The new advice. I'm not kidding. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The second piece of this is we talk about the abundance of relationships, and secondly is the abundance of creativity. And the way I think about this, this is my own little quote that I think about, is that the world will never run out of new music. Isn't that crazy to think? Like there's never gonna come a day where they're like, that's it. All the songs are written. That's it. There's no more new songs. Like, no, there might be my favorite song in my life might not even be written yet. I've never heard it. It's in there, somebody's head. It might be just somewhere out there waiting to be birthed into the world, because you're never going to stop running out of new songs and new favorite songs that you can't believe, like, get you out on the dance floor and touch your heart and pump you up. And I love that level of abundance of creativity.
Yeah.
We're never going to run out of that.
Not only that, like run out of genre. Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
oh, okay, maybe we kind of maximize it. This is all we're gonna get in our lifetime. And then someone comes up with some other genre,
Yes.
and like, oh, I like this kind of music.
Dude.
Where did this come from? Complete different sound, you know?
Dude, on that note, my new band, and I'm kind of late to the party on this, but have you heard the Black Pumas out of Austin, man?
No.
They're, oh my gosh, the song Colors, dude.
Okay.
Go get it. It is so awesome. And
I
it
feel
is.
like
It's
we
like,
should link it on this.
oh, okay, we'll put it in there, man. You heard it here first. Or maybe you heard it last year and you're like, Brew just heard it here first?
Well,
Come
I haven't
on.
even heard it, so.
But actually, and I especially appreciate creativity in the context of business. And I've seen this actually with my kids, dude. Lily's been a model for this. She's like a little entrepreneur. And one of the things I love with her is whenever she's thinking about buying something, one of the first thoughts is, no, I think I can make that actually.
Oh.
Why should I buy that, dude? I'll just make my own. And she's so creative and just
Dang.
seriously, like, doesn't even need to waste the money on Amazon, because she's like, dude, I can make that. And that, can you have that type of thinking, that type of approach? Like, as an entrepreneur, do you see the problem in front of you and go, dude, I can solve that. I can figure that out. And I hope that we have that abundance of creativity, the possibility mindset, and the divergent thinking where you're like, dude, no one's ever thought about it or seen it like the way you're seeing it. And that is a breakthrough in your business, because the creative spark that's in you, we're never going to run out of that. We're never run out of new ideas, new songs, new solutions.
Okay, so good, bro. I feel like you're on the roll. What's next?
So we got abundance of relationships, abundance of creativity, and last, and again, this is probably the obvious one when you think of abundance versus scarcity, is the abundance of resources. And literally, whether you're talking time, your money, your energy. And energy, I think, is really important resource. It's weird to think of it as a quantifiable currency that you don't want to waste. You know, of all the things you could put your energy into, you don't want to expend it on meaningless things. But there is this abundance. You can wake up in the morning, you got a whole new batch of energy that you can spend on anything. You can solve all new types of problems. And I hope you see that in yourself right now. I have this kind of experience sometimes when we look back at old pictures of ourselves. You know, we don't realize what we have at the time. Dude, I actually have a picture of me and you, Hanju, where I remember when it was taken, I remember looking at it thinking, oh man, my hair looks a little weird. I look kind of like... we don't always see ourselves, you know, very critical of our own selves in a picture.
How do I look on that?
You look awesome, man. I mean, your hair was perfect.
Yeah.
It was
Like, kind of like how it is right now.
like a flowing mane. And I'm like, so maybe sitting next to you, I'm like, I look kind of weird, man.
That's
So I have
probably
a
why.
bad hair day or something. But then I look back at that picture just recently. I pulled it up. I look back and I'm like, actually, that was a great picture. why was I so critical of it at the time?
Huh.
Like, obviously, I look a lot younger in that picture a couple years ago. I look a lot thinner than I do post-COVID, dude. And so I guess what I would say is I hope you realize that today's snapshot, you have a lot going on today. I've heard it said, you are younger than you'll ever be today. This is the youngest you're ever going to be, right? Like going forward for the rest of your life. This is your youngest moment, right? And you're listening to a podcast in the 21st century. Dude, you got abundance. You have time, money, and energy right now. And don't wait and look back at this current snapshot and think, oh, wow, I actually did have a lot going on. Like, this is your moment. This is a time to go, yo, I've got what I need. What if you have everything you need right now? You don't have to wait for some future date. Your train is right on time, and in your hand right now is everything you need. Would that change your thinking about how you're going about solving problems and what you're going for, what you're trying for, what you're hoping for? The one word that's crazy about this as we think about abundance of resources, and honestly, it didn't hit me until as we were getting ready for this podcast, the word resourcefulness. Isn't that such an interesting word? How it's simultaneously, it's like a picture of abundance because resourceful, dude, you're full of resources. But then also it describes your creative ability to make it work, to figure it out, to find a way. Dude, you're resourceful. Be resourceful, dude, and realize that everything you need is at your fingertips and you can just figure out the plan to go forward. I believe wherever you're at, whatever problem you're facing, you have what you need to make it work.
Can I make an observation?
Yeah.
You're a little fired up today, man.
Dude, it's 2021, man, and we're back, dude.
Yeah, not only
happening.
that, but I feel like something's hitting home for you with all this abundance versus scarcity type of thing.
You know, it's funny that we've been talking about this with Boss Media and especially last month as we celebrated MLK. And if you go to the Boss Media website, it says it all starts with a dream. You know, I guess I would say I believe this. I do believe it. And even though I have this tendency towards scarcity, I really do believe, you know, we always talk about make it matter. We want to have these meaningful conversations. I believe, like, if this was the advice we were giving to our kids, if this was the advice we were giving to a young leader just finished out of college and they're about to launch into their career, I believe this is the type of, like, thinking that will take you forward.
I actually really like that. You know, we were talking earlier, Brew and I were talking earlier, and I asked Brew, hey, Brew, do you ever go back and listen to our like previous episodes?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, so do I. They're really good. And I really did enjoy the one that we talked about. You know, I think that was our last one, you know, talking about what would we say to our kids if this was our last episode. I really enjoyed that. And there was some of the things that we talked about really hit home for me, you know?
Right. It turned out it wasn't our last episode, see?
Yeah,
we're back, dude. This is our first post-last episode.
Well, I'm glad we're back. I'm glad to see you, man. I'm super excited. Again, I know I was excited beginning of last year, and I'm super excited again beginning of this year.
Yeah, I'm hopeful, man, and I do think this word abundance is powerful. It's not just positive thinking. It's not just, and that's why I hope we made it as practical as we can. When you think maybe you're looking at financial shortcomings or whatever, that you can turn around and see there's relationships around you. There's creative ideas in your mind, and there's resourcefulness. I just love the idea that you have what it takes to make it work. Dude, actually, that's one of the games we used to always play with my kids. We ask, what do you got? And their answer is, what it takes. So what do you got, dude? You want to talk about abundance? Do you have abundance or scarcity? What do you got? What it takes. You got resourcefulness, dude, to take what's in your hand and figure it out.
Yeah, man. I'm pumped up with you, man. So I got what it takes, and I'm going to use everything that I have, you know, in all the resources that I've been giving and take that and give it away as well, because it's not about the zero-sum game. It's more you give, the more you gain. That's how I believe it.
Come on.
Let's do this, man. So why are we talking about this today? Why do we think it's so important? For me, I think our mind is so powerful. The way we think can be an incredible tool for our success. It can be an incredible tool for winning in business, winning in sports, and ultimately like winning in life. The scarcity mindset, thinking that we have limited resources, and when someone is succeeding, that someone else must be struggling, or when someone is winning, someone must be losing, and when someone gets a huge promotion, the rest of us will be overlooked. So why even bother trying? So we must change our mindset from scarcity to abundance. And how do we do that? Well, let me go over the 3 points that Brew went over. And I love this. As Brew said, first, we got to ask yourself, what do you got? And deeply focus on what we have. And what is it that we have? These 3 points. We have abundance of relationships. You have people around you that love you and support you and is rooting for you to win. We have, number 2, an abundance of creativity. As we said before, we will never, ever run out of new music in this world. We will never, ever run out of creativity. And number 3, we have abundance of resources. You have everything you need to be the best version of who you are and open your mind up to what is possible. So we hope this year is a year of abundance for you and your business, and to change your mindset by opening your eyes to all the riches available to you. Cool? Awesome? Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you, Brew. I am pumped, and I'm ready to change my mindset and live out my best life, and I hope you are ready too. And by the way, we would love to hear from you, so just leave us a comment on the iTunes review or contact us directly by going to bossmediagroup.com. That's BOS, 1S, mediagroup.com/say hello. We added a record button there so you can just send us by voice a question, comment, or a shout out, whatever you want. We might even play it on this podcast. So in the meantime, thank you so much for listening, and remember to always make it matter. Bye for now.